Let's keep it real. You know this guy got this tournament in the bag. Come on. Alright, so this One Piece chapter, very, very basic chapter. For the most part, in its entirety, it was the battle of Block C, and it didn't even finish yet. But pretty much, you got introduced to a lot of different new characters. And to be honest with you, if Oda wanted to make a lot of more of an impact with some of these characters, he kind of should have did like how he did with Bartholomew and Chinjao. Because Chinjao, out of this entire block, was the only one that I was really like kind of hyped for. The rest of them, it was just kind of like, they were kind of cool, and some of them felt a little bit impressive, but to be honest with you, none of them really had an impact, and it was just kind of one of those situations where I'm looking at it like, this battle looks so cool, but I wish I really gave a shit about some of these characters, because it's like, the Funk Brothers, they have some cool technique where I guess they combine themselves to pretty much like have this ultimate fighting and ultimate defense, but it's like we don't know the Funk Brothers. Same thing with a lot of these other peoples, the Bandit, Bounty Hunter, a lot of these people we just like, okay, they're cool, these fights look pretty cool, but we don't necessarily have anything from them, so it's just like we're looking at it as like, you know, sideline, hey, this looks kind of cool. And that's pretty much one of my gripes with the chapter, necessarily, because it was pretty dope fights, and kind of has like a little bit of name dropping here and there, like, you know, we get a little Impel Down reference from the Bounty Hunter, but then it's also like, again, we don't know these people, so it's like, it doesn't make that much of an impact as it would had we known a little more about them, or had they been even a little more hyped up, like Bartholomew. Although I ain't gonna lie, when Chinjao used the Conqueror's King Haki, I was like, this old motherfucker knows what time it is. He's a boss. 500 million bounty is not a bag of air, and he showed it right there. I really wish Luffy would have did a little bit more in this chapter, because to be honest, he didn't do absolutely nothing other than he had to hide his face a little bit more because his helmet was taken away. And slowly but surely, people are starting to realize that that's actually Luffy, or they at least have a hunch, a lot of these people. So he's gonna get himself into some serious shit sooner or later. They're gonna all try to gang up on him, because at the end of the day, everyone wants a piece of the man that invaded Impel Down, that went through the Whitebeard War, went up against the admirals in the Whitebeard War. Everybody wants a piece of this man, so he really needs to keep that disguise on if he wants to save his ass. Another thing I was a little bit disappointed with is we didn't get any Law, Doflamingo, and Fujitora action. I mean, like, that was something that I was super hyped, and the past two chapters now, no mention of it whatsoever, and I really hope Oda doesn't skip the fight. Even if, you know, it'd be totally badass if Law just is getting dragged away by Fujitora Doflamingo, but I would still be disappointed that we didn't get to see the extent of what went down. But then again, that could be, you know, him hiding the powers. It really all just depends how he does it, but I really hope he doesn't skip this fight in the next few chapters, because, I mean, I want to see this fight, man. Come on. Block C has some dope people, but we don't know them. I want to see Doflamingo, you know what I mean? And overall, this fight didn't really progress too much. I mean, it got a couple of people out the way, but it didn't even finish the entire block or anything like that. And it was just mainly showing off some new faces. And I think that's something of what Oda is trying to do with this particular arc, is like just start throwing in a bunch of new characters so that we can build up upon some of them, and like, okay, we'll know this person here later on and that person there later on. And that's kind of cool, but at the same time, it also doesn't feel like it's progressing too much at all. And I guess out of this block, I just want to see Luffy versus Chinjao in some pretty freaking epic battle, because he's like, Garp, I wish you was here to see what I'm about to do to your grandson, Garp. He is like going crazy, and I want to see that happen. I wish we would have got even a little bit of that in this chapter, but sadly we didn't. Overall chapter, it was about an average to fine type of chapter. I'd give it anywhere from 5.5 to maybe a 6 out of 10. 5 is an average, 6 is fine. So I give it around there. Again, it didn't progress the plot too much, it didn't even finish the block, but we did get some pretty cool action, and we also got to see that Luffy is really, he has to hide his identity, because everybody wants a piece of this man. They want to kick his ass because they know who he is, and they know if they get a piece at him and take him down, their rep will be through the freaking roof. But please, Oda, in the future, give us a little more Doflamingo and Law and Fujitora. I mean, come on, man. We've been good boys, right? And I'm really hoping we just get a little bit more out of these characters as well, because, yeah, they're being introduced in bulk. We're not getting too much backstory from them, but if Oda builds up on some of them, like the Bandit or the Funk Brothers, like the Funk Brothers, they actually have a pretty cool technique when they combine, and they have that hard-ass freaking body as well as that crazy punch technique. That'll be something very interesting to see in the future if we get a little more development with them and actually care for them. Likewise with that Bandit, it seems as though he's throwing little hints in there that he might be a little bit more relevant later, you know, dropping Impel Down, looking at Luffy like, yo, I I heard there's some rumors, so they might be some awesome characters. Let's just build upon them. Let me know what you think. Luffy versus Chinjao. Is he gonna be able to take Chinjao out? Is he gonna, you know, how's that shit gonna go down? I think he's gonna have a run for his money. I mean, dude had a 500 million buried bounty. I'm just saying, he's not gonna be no walk in the park. And your overall thoughts of this chapter? Were you a little disappointed that we didn't get no Law, Doflamingo action, and kind of that we just kind of stood in Block C? One of the things I liked about last chapter is that we moved around and we got to see what some of the other Straw Hats did. And in this chapter, the only really main relevant character that we got in it was Luffy at the end. And I guess Chinjao kind of feels a little relevant now because he's just been really hyped up that he has this grudge against Garp. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see this Luffy versus Chinjao. Hopefully the battle gets determined in the next chapter, or this block gets determined, because I'm ready to move on and see some of that Law action. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.